Hello, this is the Midday News. Thanks for joining us. Police Commissioner David Manning has condemned an extortion attempt by landowners threatening to interrupt water supply at Rona 2 Hydro Station in Central Province. The Commissioner has directed the Divisional Commander, Entity Central, to oversee the police response, with police to have zero tolerance for those who threaten essential services. Commissioner Manning said his directions are simple, that this so-called leader will be arrested, as will anyone threatening to extort communities. Manning said police operations remain ongoing. The continued growth and achievements of landowner companies in PNG's resources sector will be highlighted in the 2025 PNG Resources Week. At the heart of this celebration is the Community Affairs and National Content Conference and Exhibition, or CanConex, where success stories from these landowner companies will be showcased.
The month-long PNG Resources Week, hosted by the PNG Chamber of Resources and Energy, will culminate with the highly anticipated Community Affairs and National Content Conference and Exhibition, or CanConex. CanConex will be held from July 28th to the 30th at APEC House, running alongside the PNG Resources Week exhibition set for July 28th to the 31st. Landowner companies in PNG's resources sector that will be highlighted include Trans Wonderland, Fubilan Catering Services, and NKW. CanConex will provide a platform for these landowner companies to share their history, their successes, and their community impact. Prime Minister James Marape will be officiating the opening of PNG Resources Week 2025. The theme of the event is 50 Years of Resources Building PNG Communities. The week-long celebration includes exhibitions, summits, and a gala dinner, bringing together industry leaders, policymakers, and community representatives to honor the sector's contributions and chart a sustainable future. Kamila Gware, TVWAN News.
Papua New Guinea's Minister for Foreign Affairs, Justin Chochenko, attended the 32nd Asian Regional Forum Foreign Ministers meeting in Kuala Lumpur on the 11th of July. In a landmark address, Minister Chochenko reiterated PNG's aspiration to transition from Asian Special Observer to full membership, underscoring the strategic and economic value PNG offers to the region. Chochenko emphasized PNG's readiness to contribute to ASEAN. He highlighted PNG's potential to strengthen the Asian-Pacific economic connectivity and people-to-people exchanges. On the margins of the forum, Minister Chochenko held bilateral meetings with his counterparts from Asian member states and dialogue partners, including Indonesia, Singapore, Australia, the Philippines, Timor-Leste, New Zealand, Thailand, and Turkey. Discussions focused on deepening relations and rallying support for PNG's membership aspirations. The International Court of Justice has ruled in favor of Papua New Guinea and other Pacific Island countries, stating that these countries have legal obligations to prevent and address the harmful impacts of climate change. The court, in its advisory opinion, found that the countries have bound legal obligations under international law and customary international law to prevent and address the harmful impacts of climate change.
The International Court of Justice, or ICJ, has issued an advisory opinion on the obligations of states regarding climate change following a request from the United Nations General Assembly. This request was championed by Vanuatu, inspired by a youth-led campaign advocating for climate justice and legal accountability. The ICJ's opinion clarifies states' legal duties in mitigating climate change, adapting to its impacts, and addressing transboundary harm. Minister for Justice and Attorney General Ila Niningi said Papua New Guinea was among other countries that made an oral submission to the court advocating for stronger legal accountability in the face of rising global emissions. The case was heard in December 2024.
I'm happy to announce that we won the International Court of Justice on Climate Change Advisory, and they ruled in favor of us. We are 150 countries that represent especially third world countries in the Pacific.
Papua New Guinea's representation was led by the Minister for Justice and Attorney General, Ambassador Fred Sarufa, PNG Ambassador to the United Nations, Dr. Eric Kwa, Secretary, Department of Justice and Attorney General, Leslie Mamu, the Public Solicitor, and Eva Gaeta, the Acting Solicitor General then. The team also comprised lawyers from the Department of Justice and Attorney General, Office of the Public Solicitor, and Climate Change and Development Authority. Minister Niningi said the outcome is a major win not only for Papua New Guinea, but for all small island developing states who face existential threats from climate change. DJAG's Secretary, Dr. Eric Kwa, said their aim augment was based on the effects of climate change that is caused by an entity, and that entity must be held accountable.
With that, the global climate crisis is caused by something and by someone. We are the victims of the effects of somebody else's decisions and actions.
Meanwhile, Niningi encouraged all relevant agencies to use this decision to strengthen our domestic laws, advocate internationally, and protect our people and ecosystems for generations to come. Kamila Guare, TVWAN News.
In news overseas, at least 12 people, including an 8-year-old boy, have been killed in armed conflict near the Cambodian border, says the Thai health minister. One Thai soldier was also killed, and at least 14 people, including a 5-year-old across 3 provinces in Thailand, were injured as a result of the fighting, according to Reuters. The Thai army said the most casualties occurred in Si Saket province, where 6 people were killed after shots were fired at a gas station. Cambodian artillery shelling on Thai homes also resulted in other casualties, said a district chief in Surin province. Thai Health Minister Somsak Thepsutin said Cambodia's actions, including an attack on a hospital, should be considered war crimes. The Northern Territory's 4 Aboriginal land councils have accused the anti-government of overt racism and human rights abuses in a rare joint press conference in Darwin. The land councils were unified in their anger against the Fino-Chiaro government, targeting their new public safety laws and the skyrocketing rates of Aboriginal incarceration.
By side in solidarity, the Territory's 4 Aboriginal land councils march on Parliament House in Darwin.
It's disgraceful, to be honest. We're seeing high numbers of incarcerations, the opportunities of economic development. It's a big failure on the government.
From the top end to Central Australia, the land councils representing all of the NT's remote communities denounced the policies of the Country Liberal Party government that spent its first year in power hardening bail laws and punishments for youth offenders, which overwhelmingly impact Aboriginal people.
We've been ignored of our rights and human rights. It's appalling. Appalling behaviour by all ministers should be speaking to us.
Under this CLP government, statistics show Aboriginal incarceration has risen by around 30%.
The CLP always gets in on law and order. But us Aboriginal people, we're the most incarcerated people in the Northern Territory. We are stacking and racking, and it's so disgusting that this government is not listening to our elders.
That's where they're failing, so talk about closing gap, the gap's getting wider and wider.
The land councils have also called for an audit into the billions in Commonwealth funding spent each year by the NT government, aimed at improving the lives of remote Aboriginal residents.
All Aboriginal people want to see that happen. Where's our money being spent? Is it being spent wisely?
In a statement, the NT's Aboriginal Affairs Minister pointed to examples of work happening with his government, the 4 land councils and remote communities generally, including developing the gas-rich Beetaloo Basin for future royalties. We are committed to continuing engagement and consultation with community members and wider stakeholders in regional and remote areas across the territory, he said. A crowd that will take some convincing that this government is on their side.
The United Kingdom and Australia will sign a new 5-decade treaty to cement the AUKUS submarine pact and bolster shipbuilding in both countries as the Trump administration continues to scrutinize the ambitious technology sharing deal. The new pact is expected to be announced by Foreign Minister Penny Wong and Defence Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Richard Marles, along with their British counterparts David Lemmy and John Healey, in the wake of the annual AUKMIN talks in Sydney today. It will be signed by Mr. Marles and Mr. Healey tomorrow when they meet in the Deputy Prime Minister's electorate in Geelong. Back home in sports, the 2025 PNG Resource Week Charity Golf Challenge is underway at the Port Moresby Royal Golf Club. The one-day charity golf event brings together golf enthusiasts, both men and women, to the course. Amongst the participants is the renowned PNG amateur golf champion Morgan Anato, playing for No. 1 Savings and Loan Society. A total of 20 teams are participating at the event. The event started in the morning with a tee-off and is expected to conclude in the afternoon with the finals. That ends our midday news. Do join us at 6 p.m. for more news and sports. Bye for now.
Time to leave the MasterChef kitchen.